Hello and congratulations on being close to the close of week 3. Within week 3, we had covered chapter 10 and chapter 12, concentrating most of our time on chapter 10. Chapter 10 covering property, plant, and equipment, otherwise known as fixed assets, both terms for basically the same thing. Fixed assets being those assets that will then be depreciated over time, so we had to figure out how to calculate depreciation. Different ways include the straight line method, double declining method, units of production method, and it's good to know those different methods because those allow us to estimate and work with estimates and know what the matching principle does. That's one of our major matching principle functions, in that we're expensing when we use the equipment, or that's the goal, rather than when we purchase the equipment. So that's a good example of an accrual principle of matching. And it also helps us to see how different estimates can affect net income over different time periods. So although it's just a timing difference we're dealing with, we can see the differences in net income over that time frame based on the different estimates we make. That's why these are really good to know, and they're often tested. When we go forward, we're going to move on. We're going to continue on with chapter 12 next time. And so we'll talk about that in a second. Remember that if you haven't completed any assignments, then they should still be open. So you can still complete the assignments in week 4. Although they may be taken off for late work, late credits at that time. But if you haven't completed anything, make sure to pick up those assignments in week 4. I will then grade everything for week 4 that has been done, including week 4 assignments, as well as week 3 late work, following week 4. So you can pick those up. The quiz, or the midterm in this case, however, cannot generally be made up unless there's an unusual circumstance. So make sure to pick up the quizzes and the midterm by the close of the week, and then going forward, we can still pick up some of the assignments. So if you run into a barrier or time constraint, make sure to do your best you can on the quiz or the midterm, and then pick up the assignments and pick those up for late work if you have to, if you run into a time constraint. So going forward, like I say, we're going to continue on chapter 12, partnerships. Partnerships being an area that is very applicable to a lot of different areas, because we're going to talk about how we can distribute the income. And the idea of distributing income is applicable to a lot of different things whenever we're negotiating something. Like if we have a roommate and we're negotiating the terms of the room, how we're going to split the rent up and that kind of thing. Same type of idea is going to be there when we have two partners, especially partners who are giving different amounts to the partnership in terms of skill level, in terms of income, in terms of capital to start the business out. So that's it for the conclusion here. So congratulations on completed up week 3.